Hi, this is Genevieve Plays Bryza Berk, and today we are talking about the collection for the Fallfast Toothless costume. This event is already open for writers. It will open up for non-writers on Monday. You'll have 2 days to complete it, so that's not very much time, but thankfully it's not a very hard collection. First, let's go ahead and look at the costume. Oh my god, I am so excited about this costume. It is so beautiful. And on top of being absolutely beautiful, I mean, look at that. Look at that costume. It's so beautiful. And this is a new costume with the current update, if you weren't aware. But look at the effects. It boosts fish, wood, and rune reward in explorations, as well as decreasing the exploration cost. Can you imagine using this with an exploration event? I mean, that is just so exciting. As far as we know, I think someone said there's a 30% boost in rewards for exploration. I don't know the decrease in cost yet, but imagine sending him out for an exploration event and he comes back with extra fish, wood, or runes when he doesn't bring back an egg, and it costs less to send him. This is just, chef's kiss. I am so excited. Before we jump into the collection itself, let's review how collections work in case this is your first collection video. Alright, so how collection works, there are different kinds of items. Each item has a time cost. This time cost is the amount of time Toothless needs to be searching in order to find that item, and he may bring back 1, 2, 3, or 4 of that item depending on the item. This time cost works across however many bags you use, whether that is sequential 1-bag searches or multiple bags per search. The total time is however many bags you send multiplied by the length of the search. Also, each item has a programmed percentage chance of finding that item. So I will give you a total search time, which is the combination of the items you need, the time cost, and the chance of finding these items. So for each item, I will provide not only the number of items you need, but the time cost for each item, the chance of finding it, and the total time. Remember, this total time can be applied however many bags you use across however many searches. It is an average. Also, the total time I give you is pessimistic. It is based on only getting 1 item per search or 1 item per bag, but you can get up to 4 items depending on the item you're searching for. So this is pessimistic, and it could take you less time than the times I show you. Note on costumes, the alpha costume is only in your favor. It does not affect the time cost negatively. It shortens the actual time Toothless is searching, but the programmed time still counts towards the time cost. We do not know how the Snoggletog costume works. We think it increases the chance of finding items, but it only works in your favor. It is not a detriment to use the Snoggletog costume. What about other collections? We don't know yet. We know they work the same way, but this data is not as readily available as the event data. So when we know, we'll let you know, but we don't know yet. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the collection itself. There are only 3 items, which is helpful for a 2-day event. And there are only 22 items across the 3 different collectibles, so that's pretty good. As usual, the items are listed from easiest to hardest. I always recommend starting with the hardest because you can usually spam the easiest and get them done quicker, so you want to get the harder ones out of the way. So let's look at them item by item. So for the first item, these armbands, I think they are, we need 8 of them total. The time cost is 2 hours, and there's a 90% chance of finding them. The pessimistic total time is 18 hours, but you can get up to 4 items per bag with this. So if you're a writer, you could actually send 1 4-hour search with 4 bags and probably get all of them. That is usually my experience when I do these events. If you don't want to spend that kind of money, you could do the 2 or the 4-hour search with less bags and still get it done pretty quickly. So this is why I say to do this one last. For these chests, we also need 8, but the time cost is 3 hours and the chance is 80%. So the pessimistic total time is 30 hours. As far as efficiency, I recommend sticking to the half-hour and the hour-and-a-half searches. The 4-hour doesn't really fit in very cleanly, so I would recommend avoiding that one. However many bags you use, this one will also not take very long because the times are short. So even with a lower percentage chance than the first item, there's still a pretty good chance of getting them, and if you don't get it in a search, it was only a half-hour or an hour-and-a-half search, and you have an opportunity to get it in the next one. Again, that time is pessimistic. You can get up to 3 items per bag for this one, so the most optimistic total time is 10 hours, the pessimistic total time is 30 hours. Okay, this one is a bummer. This one, we need 6 of them, which is less than 8, but the time cost is 5 hours, and there is not a good time that fits in. The only way to have an efficient search is if you combine a 3-hour and 2 1-hours. It's really kind of awkward. I would recommend avoiding the 8-hour because it doesn't fit in cleanly with 5 hours, and because of the lower chance, it would suck to send him out for 8 hours and he comes back with nothing. If you do multiple bags, like you want to do this overnight, because you don't get them by the end of the first day or however the time works for you, you could send Toothless overnight with the 8-hour and do 2 or 3 bags, and that would probably be okay. But during the day, I would recommend avoiding it and sticking to the 3 or the 1 hour or a combination of the 2. So remember, the pessimistic total time is almost 43 hours. This one only yields a max of 2 items per bag. You may only get 1, but you can get up to 2. So the optimistic total time is still about 21.5 hours. That's still not really good. So if you're doing single bag, just do this carefully, and I might even recommend just spending a little bit of runes on this one to get it done. So let's go ahead and look at my chart. So for the chart on the left-hand side, I have the pessimistic total time for each item across however many bags you use, and on the right-hand side, I have the pessimistic total time with and without ads, as well as with and without the alpha costume. Because this is only 2 days, if you're only getting 1 item per bag, it will be really hard to do this with only 1 bag. It is possible technically, because you are probably going to get more than 1 item per bag. But as usual, I would recommend doing the medallions first, the hardest one, and get them out of the way, and maybe even paying, and you could probably do the rest of it free. But I would recommend that you look at this chart and kind of strategize how many bags you want to use for each item, and just kind of gauge how many items you're getting per bag before you go too far with free or paid. I think you probably could do this free, especially if you're spamming ads and you're getting more than 1 item per bag. If you want to figure out the pessimistic total time or any time with ads, then you're going to want to multiply by 0.6, and that will give you the max time for ads for any of these guys over here for how many bags for those items. If you want to figure out more optimistic times with getting more items per bag, then you want to divide by the number of items you're getting per bag. So if your first couple searches for the chests, for example, is giving you 2 items per bag, then you can divide any of these by 2, and that will give you roughly your time with getting 2 items per bag. If this one is giving you 4, you can divide by 4, and that's your total time if you're getting 3 or 4 items per bag. So that's basically how it works. Yeah, so hopefully this video was helpful. This is the weird math way of trying to figure out how to do collections. Again, you can do this however you want, but this is my recommendation for the most efficient way to get the costume quickly. One last note before I leave you. I am working on a comprehensive, complete beginner's guide for the game. Currently, it is roughly an hour and a half long. So I would like to know, do you guys want that as a long video with clickable table of contents, or do you want that as short videos in a playlist together? My polling so far on Facebook and Reddit seems to be short videos with a playlist, but I'm not entirely certain. I'm leaning towards short videos with a playlist, so please let me know in the comments. This video is going to be encompassing basically Mead Hall levels 2 through 5, so like really beginners playing the game. So let me know what you think would be most helpful, what would have been most helpful for you as a beginner player, or if you are a beginner, what would be most helpful for you. But I really cover everything that you need to know. So please let me know in the comments what you think would work, or if there's anything you absolutely want to see in the video in case I haven't considered that. So anyway, this was Genevieve Plays Berk. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!